So a very happy Christmas Eve to you all. I have had such a fun time decorating our house this year, and I've shared some of the process with you over the past few weeks. I've done even more behind the scenes, and I'm really excited to share that with you now. This year I really went for the Victorian, more is more, Little Women, Dickensian, Charles Dickens look in my house, and definitely also old world European country style, which is my absolute favorite, as you all know. Come along, let's go inside. Welcome to our home and welcome to our Christmas 2023 house tour. Let's go. Here I am on the front porch, and I'll just show you really quickly. Added some Christmas touches. I found this sign at the dollar store. I'm usually not much for these kind of signs, but this one just really charmed me. I would love to take a reindeer sleigh ride with warm blankets and hot cocoa. So I am envisioning sitting out here with this warm blanket and cocoa, probably minus the reindeer. I propped up my old sled from when I was a baby up here and tied a little swag to it, and just added some reindeers and bows to my swags from Advent at the very beginning. So these are my decorations that have been up the longest, but I added jingle bells and spray painted magnolia buds and some fun ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree, and these grosgrain ribbons that I've had for 15 years now. They came on gift wrapping from Williams-Sonoma. Our house has a big entrance hall if you go in the front door, and I decided to just tuck little sprigs of boxwood and these red berries that I got at the Dollar Tree pretty much everywhere. I was just loving the red and green this year. And then we have this enormous mirror that is original to the house, and it's really fun at Christmas time. It's so much fun to decorate a mirror because it's like decorating twice. Everything reflects, and I love to put my nutcracker on there. And this is our little bar card. I put a few swags on there, and this year I made a garland of all the Christmas cards people sent us. So here is a close-up of my nutcracker and a little mouse next to him. I've had him since I was a kid. He's just from the local drugstore. I made this wreath out of mountain laurel and boxwood from my yard, and just tucked in some berries and hung it from the top of the mirror with just a simple red ribbon from Dollar Tree. I do love the nutcracker, and I got to go see it this year with some of my kids. It was great. Love that tradition. I hot glued these Christmas cards to some baker's twine and just looped them, threaded them around are those called balustrades? The sticks. And then I looped some tartan ribbon. I've never used mountain laurel before, but I really like how it looks mixed with the boxwood. And in fact, it grows right next to the boxwood outside. So they must complement each other in nature as well. And I really love the contrast of the big broad leaves and then the small broad leaves. I love to decorate this armoire that I painted a couple of years ago. It's not really the same colors as anything else in the hallway, but I think it looks really well with the green and red. And then I put some smaller wreaths on this other armoire that we have. We have two armoires in this hallway, and they're like our coat closets. And I hung them with this grosgrain ribbon that, like I said, is gift ribbon wrapping from when we got married, and we got gifts from Williams-Sonoma. Some of them came beautifully wrapped. This gorgeous ribbon, which I used again in the dining room to hang these wreaths off the 3 dining room windows. It's hard to see because of the light, but they also have little red berries. And I've never hung wreaths on these windows before. I've never gotten around to it, and I'm so happy that I had time to do it this year because I just love the way it looks. Something about things that come in threes. Very fun. I just hung a little jingle bell wreath I've had for ages on the secretary in our dining room and tucked in some greens and ribbons. And I tucked in some greens and red berries on our sideboard. I didn't want to do too much because I really use the sideboard when we're using the dining room to set food and things like that, but it can all be easily moved. And then I went all out on the mantelpiece. This mantelpiece has never been my favorite. In our house, we have several, and this one I've always found to be extremely Victorian, extremely fussy, just kind of too much. But I just went with it this year, and I decided to go too much with the decorations, so I think it worked out really well. I ended up hanging a wreath from each corner of the mantle as well, which is an idea I got from House and Garden UK magazine. I saw a picture somewhere, and I love just the too muchness of it all. I love the tartan ribbon and all the gold. I spray painted gold pine cones and magnolia buds and tucked them in. I got out all the ornaments that I thought looked really Victorian from our ornament collection and tucked them in as well. And then I even hung some off of the mantle with hooks. And the overall effect is just a lot of fun, I think. Just kind of more Ghost of Christmas Present kind of feeling. We had a friend for dinner, and that's what she said it made her think of, so I'm gonna borrow that from her. I think I had the most fun decorating this, which just goes to show that if there's something in your house that's not really quite to your taste, maybe just leaning into that taste and just having fun with it, even if it's just temporarily, it might yield some surprising results. I don't think I'm ever going to love this mantelpiece, but I love it for Christmas, and I think I'll love it for Christmas for a long time. Now I'm going to take you into our front room, which opens up off of our hallway. And in here, I just tucked greens and red berries into vases that I already keep up on the mantelpiece. We got out everybody's stockings. Our stockings are they're all homemade. Some were homemade by my kids when they were younger, and some were homemade by my grandmother, so it's kind of a mix. And then I just went and tucked little bits of boxwood and berries behind some of our pictures, just to kind of add a little touch of Christmas everywhere without going too much overboard. I made a big wreath to hang above the mantelpiece out of boxwood, and I added gold pine cones and tartan ribbon, so it's a little more decorated and blinged out than my other wreaths. Usually I just like to make pretty plain green wreaths, but I had a lot of fun with this one just because it's in the front room and it's over the mantelpiece, and it's practically the first thing that you notice when you walk in the room. And this year we've put our little golden flat nativity scene up on the mantle, and I'm really enjoying it up there. I found this at a thrift store many years ago, and it's missing a couple of the shepherds, but it has the three wise men and Jesus and Mary and Joseph. Jesus is not there yet. We're waiting to put him out. So everyone is on the mantelpiece just waiting and watching. I decided to decorate the piano with some greens and pine cones, and I draped a golden ribbon across it, and I even decorated this little drinks tray. Just tucked a big magnolia bud, a little boxwood, and some red berries inside one of the decanters, and just tucked the greens behind the pictures as well. In the kitchen, I had a lot of fun tucking boxwood in the chandelier and a red wooden garland, and also in this wall pocket. And that was pretty much all I did in the kitchen. I just kept it really, really simple. And I shared about my bedroom in a previous video, but here it is. This is a commemorative glass tree that my mother-in-law gave us when we got married. I love that little thing. And I just tucked some greens on our mantle and taped a ribbon across the front as kind of a garland. And I really enjoy how it looks. It's not too much greens, just a little bit tucked in here and there, but it feels very Christmassy with the gold ribbon. And I just set out War and Peace and a cozy white fur blanket just to kind of, for the cozy winter feelings. And we have a great Christmas flannel sheet set too. So all those things together just have made our bedroom feel very cozy for Advent and Christmas. My daughters love to decorate their room. We've never quite got around to decorating my boys' room, maybe next year, but they have these great mirrors, and it's really fun to hang wreaths on mirrors. And we just did the same thing we did last year with these little wreaths on their twin mirrors. And I just love it. Like I said, it makes me think of a Scandinavian bedroom, I guess because that color is Scandinavian Pink by Annie Sloan. That's probably what it is. There's the St. Lucie Day wreath that my daughter wore on her head, the crown, and now it's just in her room. I wanted to share with you my favorite Christmas time poem. It's called The Burning Babe, and it was written by Robert Southwell in 1595. He was an English poet. The Burning Babe by Robert Southwell. As I in hoary winter's night stood shivering in the snow, surprised I was with sudden heat, which made my heart to glow, and lifting up a fearful eye to view what fire was near, a pretty babe all burning bright did in the air appear, who, scorched with excessive heat, such floods of tears did shed, as though his floods should quench his flames, which with his tears were fed. Alas, quoth he, but newly born, in fiery heats I fry, yet none approach to warm their hearts or feel my fire, but I. My faultless breast the furnace is, the fuel wounding thorns. Love is the fire, and sighs the smoke, the ashes shame and scorns. The fuel justice layeth on, and mercy blows the coals. The metal in this furnace wrought are men's defiled souls, for which, as now on fire I am, to work them to their good, so will I melt into a bath to wash them in my blood. With this he vanished out of sight, and swiftly shrunk away, and straight I called unto mind that it was Christmas Day. I hope that you enjoyed that poem. It always brings the warmth and love of Christmas home to me. We have a tradition in our family of my husband reads that every year before we sit down for Christmas dinner, and I really enjoyed sharing it with you all this year. Thank you so much, all of you who have been watching my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I so enjoy sharing on these topics, and I thank you for your support of this channel. It means the world to me. And now we are just 2 days out from Christmas, and We are going to cut down our Christmas tree from our yard and decorate it. That will be the final part of my 2023 Old Farmhouse Christmas tour. I hope that you enjoy it, and I hope that all of you have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.